Dealing with difficult personalities. Hi, I'm Dr. Cynthia Bischoff, International Life Coach. In life, we're bound to encounter people with difficult personalities. And it's important to know that everyone may be difficult at some time in their interactions with others, including ourselves. So to expect perfect interactions all the time isn't realistic. Yet what is important is to understand successful methods for dealing with individuals who may be consistently difficult. In fact, what's necessary for starters is not to be overwhelmed by your own response to these people. It's amazing the number of people who report being constantly surprised by the same behavior that others give them. I've taught communications workshops and courses for years. Frequently, I ask my participants, why are people difficult? Now, the answers to this question varied. Some said that people might have had difficult childhoods, or that they might have personality disorders, or that they could be full of repressed anger or fear, or even that they weren't taking their prescribed medications. Now, all these answers seemed possible, but the real answer to this question is simple. Why are people difficult? Because it works for them. You see, it's very important that you try to understand the reason for the individual's behavior so that you can respond in a way that does not condone the behavior or allow it to work for that person. Let's take a couple of examples. One type of difficult personality is the exploder. This person may look like they're having adult temper tantrums, often exploding out of nowhere. So what's behind this behavior? What brings explosions about? Well, this individual usually feels personally threatened before exploding. When people feel personally threatened, they generally want to be alone. And exploders, when threatened, most often attack. And this creates the very distance that the exploder wants. Exploder personality types often feel suspicious of others and may even try to make the other person feel afraid or ashamed. Often these feelings are what the exploders themselves feel, and they are projecting their own feelings onto others. So if a person is being difficult because it works for them, then how do you not allow this behavior to work for this person? That's your key. For starters, when the exploder explodes or attacks, do not withdraw or become silent. That's a common response. Instead, don't be repeatedly surprised since you've probably been around this person before, and instead take a deep breath and weigh your situation. Most of all, be sure to stand your ground and respond by staying in your power. Tell the person you want to hear what they have to say, but not in this way. You can use I statements to convey this information. What's an I statement? Well, instead of saying, you make me feel such and such, using you in your statement is going to make the person defensive. You can say, I want to hear what you have to say, but when I am yelled at, I found it difficult to focus and listen. Call it what it is. You have to stand up to the person. In Japan, where I teach, they have an expression. They say sometimes you have to lean into the sharp edges. What about another difficult personality, the complainer, also known as the whiner? What's behind that behavior? Usually, complainers feel helpless and overwhelmed by an unfair world and perfection that they can't obtain. They may see problems as much worse than they really are, and may try to make others miserable too. So offering solutions to complainers may make them whine even more. Here's a strategy. Listen attentively to the complainer's complaint, even if you feel impatient, and give good eye contact. You see, complainers want your attention. Don't agree because you'll encourage them. Don't disagree because they'll repeat their problems. And don't try to solve their problems. You can't. So listen for the main points. Summarize what you've heard and reflect, or write their complaints down. Then shift the focus to asking them to come up with solutions. Try to move into a problem-solving mode with them by asking specific informational questions. Most of all, your goal should be to form a problem-solving alliance. Now, if all the above has achieved nothing, Bring your conversation assertively to a close with something like, "Since your issue seems to have no feasible solution at this time, talking about it's probably not going to help. So if you come up with a possible solution, please put it in writing so we can proceed." When you put them in charge of solving their own problems, complainers usually cease complaining. So if you want to create better interactions with others, try changing your response, and in turn, you can improve your life.